Alan Moore asks that his name be taken off film credits, not because he forgot he wrote the story, but because he believes the deal betrayed the work. For decades, he treats contracts as moral documents, not fine print. Myth: Moore is merely bitter about Hollywood. His fight is structural. Who owns characters when the contract expires, whether reversion clauses trigger, and whether publishers share downstream money fairly. Moore arrives from UK comics in the early 80s, Swamp Thing, then darker, adult storytelling for American publishers. He helps redefine what mainstream comics can say, at work-for-hire rates on company-owned worlds. Watchmen, with artist Dave Gibbons, reimagines superheroes as fragile, political, human. DC publishes it to acclaim. The contract promises rights revert when the book goes out of print, a clause that later fights over what out of print means in a digital age. V for Vendetta, begun earlier in British anthologies, becomes another lightning rod. Moore argues publishers retain characters he co-created under terms he later rejects. The pattern repeats: acclaim first, dispute later. Films and merchandise multiply. Moore sees little alignment between his comics and adaptations, and little revenue sharing he considers fair. He distances himself publicly while the characters become global brands. Moore requests removal from films he disowns, a rare protest that signals readers the comic and the movie are not the same product. Studios comply. The gesture is ethical branding against contracts he will not endorse. Lawyers debate reversion, licensing, and digital availability. Moore pursues clarity on paper while refusing to participate in promotions. Other creators watch. The fight becomes a case study in reading contracts before the awards arrive. Moore pours energy into creator-owned or independent projects. From Hell, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, small press experiments. He proves he can leave the vault and still matter, on his own terms, with smaller reach. Moore's arc asks, what good is genius if the contract outlives your consent? Read reversion clauses. Ask about merchandise. Decide early whether you can live with work for hire or fight before the character escapes you. Acclaimed work. Expiring on-paper rights. Hollywood scale. Name removed. Independent exit. Moore loses battles and still moves the conversation. Contracts are not paperwork. They are promises with lawyers attached. Next on Ink and Origin, a black and white photocopy that became a toy Isle empire. Subscribe for comic history told clearly. This is Ink and Origin.